I could do in
Sorry,
one,
we weren't
oh, no worries.
recording.
I could do in one deal, what I worked so hard for, maybe 2 months with the builder. So, and with the builder, even though you had some guarantee, you really didn't know what that check would eventually look like because how many months, delays, and so forth. Um, and again, we all know, the builder business is changing, and now they're going to a flat fee, and everything else they're doing.
So while it looked exciting, and to a lot of us, it looks great, it's nice to have that going for us. It's kind of a dual-edged sword then.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right. I appreciate that. So how'd you get started? I mean, you didn't have well, maybe you did. Maybe you did had all the past client and sphere that you had sold houses to, but they were all brand new houses.
Well, I make a joke, Neil, that when I started, well, when I was starting with the builder, we didn't even have fax machines. So when I started in resale, we didn't even have a cell phone. So if I had a cell phone, the cell phone I have today, back then, we would be really rich. We'd be having a good time. Because I have all those numbers on my phone. But so I didn't have anything really
I'm
concrete.
sorry.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Well, if I had all those people in my phone database from all those builders, it would have been really fantastic. But
Ah,
yeah, so I had to go find them. And so when I first started in resale in '04, I did get connected with Mike Ferry really early on, which was a super win. We started coaching right away. And so I didn't know anything else to do but door knocking. So I just did door knocking all day. And then I would knock on the doors I sold before, and they'd say, "Yeah, I know you, Karen. I like you. Go ahead. You can sell my house. Thank you." So
good. And then we had 2007.
yes, I remember where I was standing when the market turned off. Yep. And we live to tell the tale. We're
And have done really well, you know, doing what you're supposed to do. So tell me how you're doing business today. How does Karen, you've always got this great million megawatt smile. You're you're out there. I remember one thing about customer service, and maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, but we had one of our coaching calls. You said, well, it was your job to anticipate what the client needs and call them before they call you,
Yeah,
right?
I believe in that. Yes.
Okay. So talk to us about that, because that just works really well for you. Your clients love you. You anticipate their needs. Talk to me about that. How's that work?
Well, if they're calling me, then I haven't answered a question in advance. So when I'm on the phone with a seller or buyer, I want to leave each conversation with, "Hey, this is what's going to happen next. What you can expect next is you're going to get your escrow package. We're going to get together and talk about it, do it together, or we'll meet the notary together." Uh, and so I try to alleviate fears and stress from them so that they know what to expect from me and from escrow or my TC. "Hey, you're going to have 180 pages come over from my TC, Megan. So just so you know, be on the lookout for that. You'll have it in a few days. Call me with any questions." So if I can keep them in a happy place mentally, and they feel comfortable and confident, we can just keep moving forward.
And just keep moving forward. Okay. So basically you know what comes next. You let them know what's coming next. And the fact that they're going to get this giant package from the escrow company in the form of an email or delivery, they're not freaked out because they know something's coming.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay. Now, do you sit with all your clients and sign the documents? How's that work for you?
I do. Yeah.
Talk to me about that. You do, how many transactions did you do in 23?
Well, and I just happen to have that here. And yes, and I closed, actually 23 was a bad year, Neil. We closed
I said 23.
yeah, we closed 27.
27 in which year?
in 2023.
You closed 27 deals. How about 22? Do you have that one?
Yeah, I do. We closed 47 in 22.
What was the difference, you think?
Ask me about 21.
Sorry?
Ask me about 21.
Tell me about 21.
Yeah, we closed 51.
Woo! So 40, so 51, 47, 23, and what are you on track for in 24?
Well, technically, as of this moment, we're at 21 closed and pending. So we're having a comeback.
Sounds like you're going to get back to
Thank you.
certainly in the 40s, maybe 50.
40s, 50s, more is better.
Yeah, exactly. What happened in 23, Karen?
23, the market shifted. I probably shifted my motivation a bit. We let go of a TC, not a TC, but an assistant, did a little bit more on ourselves. The numbers were pretty nice as far as commission numbers, so we didn't feel it so bad. And so probably just some complacency there.
So the sales prices, so in 51, in 51, what was your gross commission?
It was 600 and basically 70,000, roughly.
Great numbers. And the next year, that
On
equal to
47 closings, we had 604, so even a little bit lower, of course. And then in 23, we were at a 500 even roughly number.
wow. So your price points are rising.
Yeah.
Number of transactions are dropping. What's the average? What's the commission on the 21 deals so far?
Commission averaging, I think, 15,005
Um,
per deal.
so you're about 320-ish, 350-ish right now.
358 if you want to be exact, or
Okay, good. I'm at 350, you're at 358. Pretty good math for my head, right?
This is thanks to Todd. Thank you, honey. Okay.
Hey, so that's going to put you back over 600.
Hey, we've got to be there. We got to get double C this year. Has to happen. Actually, double C, those rankings dropped a little bit, Neil, as you know. So double Centurion's only 544. So that's definitely happening.
You should, yeah, you should be able to do that. So the 23 transactions came in from a teeny bit of complacency or doing more. You were doing more with less.
We didn't at the moment in time, you don't feel that way. But looking back, we probably spent a little bit too much time in the office. I'm starting to implement getting out and doing some more door knocking recently. So I would just encourage people with that we can get in this mode of just constant looking at our computer screen and making a call and so forth. But at the end of the day, we need to still sell something. So if I don't have what I want in leads, then I need to go in the field and find them.
So you're stronger at the door or on the phone, or where are you now? What have you developed for yourself?
I don't consider myself super strong on the phone. I'm very good at follow-up.
Okay.
So my
follow-up's on the phone, right?
Follow-up is on the phone. So I will follow up with them pretty nicely. But I'm doing a lot of database. So
how big's your database?
about 1,100.
And what, how many, let's see, this year you'll do probably, let's call it 60 deals. Let's stretch you a little bit.
Okay, 60 it is. Neil said
60 deals. And what percentage of those 60 deals are going to be past client and sphere?
That's a good question. At least probably 60% of those.
Okay, so that's 36 closed and pending out of that. So the 1,100, how often are you touching those?
Well, definitely 4 times a year at some point of either it's an email, it's a bonbon video, or it's a phone call, or it's a marketing update.
You're still using what's that bot thing
HomeBot. I am using HomeBot. I do love it. I can see when anyone looks at it, so that's kind of cool.
Did you get my email the other day on that?
I did, and I got stuck with a buyer the rest of the day, so I meant to respond. Thank you for the email. But hey, any conversation is good conversation. We're talking prices, right? So I was going to show you. Each week I get an update on HomeBot on who looked and clicked, and have they looked at it 2 or 3 times, 5 times. So it's not a guarantee that they're of course selling, but I want to make sure if Susie Q over here has clicked on it 3 times where she hasn't done it for a year, I'm certainly wanting to see, when did I last talk to Susie Q? Oh wow, it's been 4 months. Hey Susie, how you doing? Just checking in. Just let you know the values are really up. Well, that thing you sent me is wrong. I said, really? Well, let's get together. Let's look at it. And we can come up with a great
wrong
price.
high or wrong low.
Well, either way.
Either way, it's still a nice conversation, right?
It's a nice conversation.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
bet.
No, the HomeBot has always been something that I appreciate getting from you. I find it very professional. It's not very expensive, as I remember.
Oh, it's nothing hardly. It's monthly. I think it's $25.
Yeah, something like that.
Like that.
That's
Yeah.
great. Armin's agreeing with you over there. He's
Thank you,
saying,
Armin. I was looking for support here. Yeah.
Armin says yes.
Yes.
No, that's really good stuff. It works, and it stays in touch with the client. Is there anything else that you do to help you stay in touch like that?
Well, hey, we just went to that Century 21 conference and we signed up for this thing called Revaluate. I'll see if I can show this logo here to you. You see that logo? It's pretty in color. It's Revaluate. It was a little bit of money, but they went through our whole database. They fine-tuned it. They found missing emails, missing phone numbers. And so we had a strong 500 in the database, and they were able to update another 500 plus numbers.
Wow.
And now I'm starting to engage with those people that I really, I had them in there, but of course I hadn't called them because the email wasn't right or the phone number wasn't right. So now we're reaching out to them.
Do you mind sharing what that costs you a month or a year, or is it a one-time fee?
It was a one-time fee, I believe, and it was under $1,500. It was in the maybe 1,100-1,200 range, not exact.
But it added 500
missing
solid or more solid doesn't sound right. Solid leads for you.
It just reinforced my database to what was missing. So it's not creating anything, but it is taking that name and number, or maybe, high school friend that you kind of lost track of and replacing it. So I just talked to someone last night. I sold her the house 28 years ago. Well, I've been reaching out to her, didn't have a right email. She's kind of older lady. She doesn't want to really talk all the time, right? Husband passed. She's a little cranky. Todd updated her on HomeBot. And then she had to call me back last night and tell me that she didn't have a mortgage because that's important. Okay.
Sure.
I said, well, I'll make a note of that. And meanwhile, we got caught up. She's one of those people that would have never have called me back, right? But she called me to correct me, which was fine. Right. And so then we were able to have a nice conversation, and I know she's happy, and we wish her another great 10 years of life because she's like 92. But the communication was made, wouldn't have happened without the reevaluate helping me put it back together along
Right.
with Todd's
That's
backhand.
great. Excellent. So that you're getting a return on investment there.
Yes.
Good. Excellent. How long did it take to put together?
It did take them a few 3 to 4 weeks to get back to us for sure. It wasn't instant.
Okay. So truth is, though, that you could have done that yourself, but probably would never
Right.
have.
100%.
Yeah.
Love offering great customer service, right? So
Yeah.
so
It's
much
like
time.
agents that, well, I know what to do. I know the coaching I need. I know I'm just not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But when you have accountability and you have people like Robert and the Mike Ferry organization, et cetera, help holding you accountable. And every week you have to have your numbers, and every week you're supposed to be doing something and moving it forward. It gets done, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Do you like doing it every week?
My calls and my numbers.
Yeah, keeping track of the numbers and showing up on the calls. Well, let me rephrase it. Are there some weeks you'd rather not?
The weeks I don't have my goals done, yes, there's some weeks.
Be honest.
Robert's so much fun though. It's like watching a TV show. So we just have a good time.
I love it. I love it. But you're involved with it, and your involvement in it and all of that helps you do some of the business. I don't know if you and Todd have thought about this before, but you're making between 5 and 600,000, 700. You'll probably make closer to $700,000 this year. Having a coach and not having a coach, having the support of the company and not having the support of the company, how much less do you think you might do a year? Anything?
I think I dropped by half.
Half?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because if you remember back to when we came with you in 2015, we were doing, well, maybe 2/3 at that time, but I was really doing as much as I could, but I was maybe doing it in the wrong way. So that direction helps, 1% in the wrong direction takes you off course.
Yeah, you end up in Saigon instead of Hawaii.
Exactly. It's not as fun, it's not as much fun. So
Yeah.
coaching is everything to me. I believe it. That's why I love this company so much and everything that you've provided all these years. So that pays off. It doesn't happen instant. And I think that's where we get caught up. It's like, hey, I'm in coaching, I'm paying the money, I'm doing this, or I'm doing Mike Ferry. It's like, well, yeah, but we don't have that big win the first day all the time. It takes 90 days, it takes 6 months, it takes year over year comparing numbers.
Right. Right. Okay. Good stuff. So this sounds like a Mike Ferry coaching advertisement, but it's really not. It's how Karen got from where she was to this point, right?
That's right. That's right.
Exactly. So Karen, newer agent, a little bit of background in the business. What
Yeah.
would you recommend they do to start their career or supercharge it right now with the marketplace being what it is?
Well, okay, so they're already in the company and they're got their follow-up boss going and they're in the systems and training.
Well, let's hope so.
Okay. Well, I would start there, right? Follow-up
Okay.
boss is critical. We've got to have everything in a CRM of some sort. And that helps us, keep track of if we talk to our client base, 4 times a year, right? I easily forget things. So it's like, did I really just talk to those guys 2 weeks ago? Okay, I guess I'm not calling them today, right? So I think that's important. We got to be around great people. I think like we had yesterday with the Temecula meeting, we just, everyone got to talk and share ideas. It was really fun. I think it's inspiring to be around other people. And so that's what the company is offering. But we have to be able to make contacts and have conversations and trust level with people, which are ultimately our sellers. And so however you're going to do that, if it's going to be on the phone or you're going to knock on their door, you're going to do open houses, we have to have conversations. So that would be my encouragement to them. And everyone thinks they're working and they're talking to not many people a day. So that's not working.
So back when you kind of started going involved with our coaching, you and I, and and the Mike Ferry stuff, how you're good at the doors and you're good at the phones and you're good at the follow-up, but there were days you didn't want to do it.
Yeah, like this week. Sure. When
What's
it's
what's wrong
outside.
with this week that you don't want to do it?
It's hotter than you know what outside.
Just got to get up earlier.
Yeah, there's
Got to
that.
get up earlier and it's cooler outside, right?
Right, right. Or go at nighttime.
Or go at nighttime. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Good stuff. Okay. Your son's in the business right now.
Yes, how fortunate.
And right. And so how is that? You come home, you're talking to Todd about it. Now you're talking to Todd and Grant about it, you know.
Yes.
Doesn't that get old sometimes?
It actually doesn't get old because it's re-inspiring because he's seeing it with new eyes, new lens, right? Of hey, if they just did this and this and this, they do this. And I was like, yeah, well, yeah, you're right. It takes a while to get that pipeline going and get those deals happening. And but it's fun to watch his enthusiasm. Absolutely.
That's great. Yeah,
We
he's
have a
doing a
good
great
time.
job. Really doing a great job with it. So congratulations.
Thank you.
A lot of good leadership from mom.
It's a dream that he gets to work with you, Neil. It's pretty cool. That's pretty
Oh
cool.
no, he's a good guy. He's a
Yeah,
sponge. He's very coachable. And
right
he's a lot like mom. Dad's a little bit more, let's take another picture.
on.
Let's get another drone. Todd, what drone are you on now?
He's
The
on his
fourth
fourth.
drone, fourth level drone. Okay. It's good stuff. Karen, clearly you're bringing your son into the business. So the business supports you and your family very nicely. But what do you think a brand new agent needs to be doing right now to get business, to be able to support their family? What activities do they need to be working on?
I think they have to get their routine down as that this is a daily job and activity first. Like how many hours are they really going to be able to invest in the business and not kid themselves on what they need to make. If they need to make 5,000 a month, then that commitment needs to be higher every day.
Right.
Or whatever that is, whatever that financial number is for them to meet the needs of their family. And we have to have an honest conversation about how much work that's going to take. And there was a time in that year that I was struggling in 2023. We were doing a little probate too. That was another little distraction. But we have to realize it takes more numbers. So I was up to like 500 or 600 contacts before I got a listing. In that spam of January, February, March. Now it worked out, and now my numbers are better, 137 contacts per listing or whatever. But we have to know what that number is. So maybe we have to talk to 100 people or attempt to knock on 100 doors a day to make those numbers.
We're hearing from great agents like yourself that we've interviewed in the recent past, and they're all saying the same thing that you're saying. It's more a numbers game today than ever before. And those of you that are doing the numbers are doing well, and money can be made. Look, Karen, I know we talked about you earning 400, 500, 600, $700,000, but I don't think you saw it. I think you kind of peaked out when you were in the threes and low fours, mentally, not what you were capable of, but mentally you were starting to peak out a little bit. And I think that's what happens to agents. And then their complacency comes in, which is what we already talked about a bit.
Yeah.
Where, I worked really hard last year, and I deserve a little bit of a break. So I'm going to take what I call the proverbial deep breath. Okay. I can take a little bit of a break. Anyone on this call relate to that? Anyone on this call relate to I can take a little bit of a break?
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you, I got 50 years experience in this. There is no such thing as a break. Unless you want to start making less money. That's never been one of my choices. It's never been one of Karen's choices.
Right.
Exactly. All right. So, questions for Karen Myatt. Questions for Karen Myatt. Let's go down that street for a minute or two.
I have a question, Loopy.
Please, Loopy. It's Loopy, right?
Yes.
Hey, Lupe.
Yeah. Hi, Karen. How are you?
Good.
Good. Yeah, I'll take your picture. There you go. You had mentioned the home bot that
Yeah.
you set up. Now, does that come directly from Follow Up Boss, or do you set it up yourself?
It's a good question. Thanks, Loopy.
Mhm.
I think it would be a good answer from Robert. I think,
Robert or Todd?
yeah.
Hey, you know what? I can take a stab at it if you want.
Please don't make me
Thanks,
talk.
Keith.
I can take a stab. Hey, how's it going? Great job, Karen. This is great. Lupe,
Hey,
so
Keith.
yeah, this is something that's actually offered as part of the YLOPO package that comes with the broker paid CRM. And so there's an integration with YLOPO, and previously it was HomeBot. They've actually since created their own home valuation a seller information packet, where they are now sending out home valuations through their proprietary platform, which is just as good as HomeBot. It's a little bit more integrated into the system, and it actually has a few more call to actions, so you can have some more updates kind of when people are scrolling through those reports. But it provides the home valuation, as well as suggested options for like refinance or investment opportunities. And so it's a really cool tool that gets people engaged. And my recommendation is always to send it out on a monthly basis, because people like to see where their home is every month.
Okay, that's great. But the only thing that I've noticed, which I'll get into it later with you, Keith, is that when Lobo sends it out, it's not accurate based on the home evaluations.
Yeah, but that's going to be for every home valuation tool on the market. Like the reality is none of them are perfect, and that's why you exist, because realtors are supposed to be providing the comparative market analysis that's accurate based on comps and similar features of the asset.
I looked at one
Okay,
this
great.
morning.
Thank you.
I looked at one this morning that sent us, and they were doing it between Zillow and another company. Zillow had it at 850, and the other company had it at 960. So, and then their exact words were, "This is where the real estate agent becomes a real estate agent and makes it right." So, none of them are right.
Yeah, but quick thought on that. Because I can't keep my mouth shut. Karen, I fucking love you. You're amazing.
Thanks, Karen.
The transition to when you get that home
Aaron,
evaluation.
this is a family show.
They gotta learn sometime, Neil. The transition when the home valuation is wrong, that's super critical to call that client and just reaffirm to set that face-to-face appointment. I mean,
Yeah.
There's so many appointments I get because it's so high. And if you can bring me a buyer for that, absolutely. When can I see the home? Oh, that's too low. I agree. When can I see the home? So anyways.
That's right.
No, Aaron, absolutely. Always, always back to the agent. Good stuff. Other questions of Karen?
Hey,
Not-
Mom.
Yeah, I
not
have a
home box.
question. I have a question, Miriam. Karen, what is your perfect schedule? The perfect that works for you.
The perfect schedule is when I do 100% of what I'm supposed to do, right? So
Yes.
that would be wonderful. I am at the
Mhm.
office at 7:30, and I do my role playing with some Mike Ferry agents. And
Yeah,
so,
we're having trouble hearing you, Karen.
oh yeah, okay. So I'm at the office by 7:30, and we do role play till 8, and then I do some emails. My goal is to start calling at 9, and then we take an early lunch, me and Todd, because we don't like the traffic. So we get in and we get out and we get back to work. And then it depends how the day's going to go, right? But my goal now is to get in the field in the afternoon and do some door knocking.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
Good question, Miriam. Thanks.
I have
I
a
have a
question for Karen.
question.
Come on, because I've
Oh.
got.
Aaron,
You
did
go,
you have
Aaron.
a comment?
Quick question. Karen, you have been excellent for years. What pulls you? Is there something that pulls you or pushes you? What is the one thing over your career that is something that always grounds you to do amazing? Because you're amazing.
Oh, thank you. I really like the money. So, so there's
Let
that.
me write that down. Everybody write that down, okay?
I like to go shopping. So
So, Karen, are you pleasure motivated or pain motivated?
I was thinking about that too, Neil. I think I'm a little bit of both. We certainly have had some pain in our life, especially when the crash happened. So I do have that constant fear in the back of my mind, like, if I don't get out there, I'm not going to have any money. I better get going. Winter's coming. Yeah, we got an election this year. We better hustle. I mean, so that's some negative talk, but also it does drive me that, we can't take for granted what we have today. We are only as good as our last, sales call, really, or our last deal. When I worked for the builder, I did learn something. It was like, it didn't matter what you did. You could have taken 10 checks for them last week, but if you didn't take a check for them today, your name was mud and and you could lose your job, literally. They would threaten you constantly that you would be out if you didn't get another sale. So that's kind of in my background. It's like,
Well,
hey,
that's what Randy was talking about offices and desks the other day.
well, hey, you know what? You're right, though. It's true because it's nice to show up to an office where there's people here and they're working. And if they're not
Oh.
going to be here and work, then, they don't need an office.
Totally agree. Totally agree. And do you always have that smile?
Oh, Lupe, yes, 100%.
You always have that beautiful smile. It's like you always.
Unless I'm mad and then you don't want to be around.
Yeah, but even when you're mad, you're smiling. It's scary.
Right? I mean, she's
Yeah.
smiling all the time. It's terrific, terrific.
Hey,
No,
Karen,
you have a,
to jump on what Neil said, Karen, you're in the office every day, correct?
Yes.
Every day. Doesn't matter. You go door knocking, you do, but every day you start the day in the office, correct?
I start my day in the office. I have to be in the office to start my day.
Does everybody hear that? That's how you become a superstar.
Yes.
Okay? I want to just throw that out there. If you're missing the office, you're not.
Amen. Amen.
You're not going to get it, guys. It was a simple question. Thank you,
What time do you
Karen.
leave? What time do you leave the office finally?
It depends how motivated I am that day, but if it takes me till 8 o'clock at night, I will stay here till I get my numbers done.
Thank you.
And what's really neat, people ask this question all the time. Well, wait a minute, she's working till 8, 9 o'clock at night, blah, blah, blah. She's got two of the greatest boys, young men, no, seriously, Karen, you and Todd have done a spectacular job with your sons. And it's your around and they feel the wrath of mom if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So the point is, sometimes people say, well, I'm not going to give up my family for the work. Well, there's ways of managing both of them. And you guys are a great example of that. And I just want to,
Thank you.
Karen, we've been around each other for, I don't know, when did you came on board, what, in 15?
15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
12, 13 years, and I guess the boys weren't very old at the time.
Yeah, we were doing, high school lacrosse and football games and all of that when we started with you, Neil. So yeah, and then they went through college and we would say, Uncle Neil would tell you got to do this, got to have a schedule, got to get up on time.
Yeah, I remember when they were talking about buying a car and they were giving you all kinds of big numbers and you guys were talking, we're looking at these little Matchbox cars for you guys. I'm bringing that up because you can raise great kids, great families, and still work.
And to the moms out there, I just want to support you because I worked until I delivered the baby when I was in new homes because you couldn't have a day off, right? So that's a whole nother thing. So when you're working for a builder, you don't get time off unless it's maternity leave. And so I had my 6 weeks off and I was still on the phone every day with my partner, right, at the time. So, and then, we got a nanny. And so the boys were raised with a nanny. And then Todd, of course, helped out when I had appointments. And so it was a team effort, but I've always worked. So there was no time off just to be a mom. I'm not saying it's wrong, just saying that you can do both and it turns out okay at the end of the day.
Exactly. Well, you're a prime example of that. Karen,
I have a
Sandy,
question.
1 second, Wendy. Let me ask this question out. You know what? Go ahead and I'll ask the other question in a minute.
Oh,
Wendy,
go ahead.
No, this is your show. This is your show.
Well,
I'm
first of
just
all,
here because it's
yeah.
fun.
Thanks. I love listening to Karen. Sometimes I just go over to Temecula just to see her when I need inspiration and she's on the phone and I'm like, okay, this woman here, she's already making what my goal is for the year and she's still hustling. So I need to get on that phone. But Karen, so I know you do door knocking. Do you have a script when you door knock? Do you take anything with you, any materials, or do you just take your cards? What does that look like for you?
It depends where I'm at and what we're doing. I do like the 5-5-10 idea. If I don't have a listing in that neighborhood, right, we're just going to preview and then we're going to knock the doors to the left or the right. I got that from Neil. But when I do have my own listing, I am basically, I have my my flyer, right? So that's it. Hey, I just sold this house down the street. It's available. Do you have a buyer? Do you have a friend? Let's not overcomplicate it. We're just saying hello. Mike Ferry, of
Okay.
course, it's a nice script. When do you plan on moving? How long have you lived here? Where did you move from? If you were to move, where would you go next? And when would that be? Right?
So my question with that is, how many deals do you close from door knocking a year?
It's a good question. This year will be more. So it depends where we're putting our time, right? If the more
Okay.
we put our time with our database, we're going to get more from the database. We put more at doors. Same with open houses, right? Shane had a great open house the other day. He's going to get deals off of that. They're home and they want to talk to you. I did just close one from door knocking that was, $22,000.
Yeah.
And I stole it from another agent that's been marketing that area for 15 years. And she called me and she was sad. She said, that was supposed to be my listing. I said, I'm sorry, but she wanted to work with me because I'm going to hold her hand.
Yeah,
Customer service, right?
exactly. Well, thank you so
Love it.
much.
Good stuff. Excellent. Great question, Wendy. Thank you. Sandy San asked a question. Karen, can you share what you bring to door knocking? Do you bring anything?
I'm only bringing a flyer, Neil, just a flyer. I'm not bringing market stats. If we want to go over those kind of details, they need to meet me in person. But I will certainly let them show me their house so we can walk through it and check it out. And then I'll know exactly what the price should be when I come back to see them together.
So when you're out there door knocking like that, how many times do people invite you in?
A lot. Yeah.
So it's a pretty friendly environment. People think that they're going to get the door slammed in their face. That doesn't happen very often, does it?
I only had that happen once in my whole career.
And you're a girl. They shouldn't be slamming face. I can understand it if it's me.
Well,
or maybe Randy, but not you.
Hey, Neil, can I ask Karen a question?
those ladies sometimes like talking to the men, so there's that.
Okay,
However,
good. Gloria had a question.
Okay. I want to say one thing, Gloria, before. It depends how you're dressed when you go to the door. I mean, I know this is my pet peeve. I don't wear jeans. I don't wear tennis shoes. We need to be dressed. We need to look like we're ready to sell a house. They're going to pay us a lot of money. Let's look the part. And that's why people will open the door for me. I am not that threatening looking. I will stand way back. I will turn my head sometimes. They can see I'm a girl, whatever. But I'm definitely, they can see, okay, well, she's in a suit. Well, she's not solar, right? So they'll open the door or they won't open the door. But it's just that thing of like, go there ready to present. I'm not just dropping flyers off. I am knocking on their door. I'm ringing their doorbell. I'll talk into their little device, right? Say hi. I'll do my whole spiel on their Ring camera because they're going to look at it later. We look at our Ring camera every day.
Right.
So we know what time the kids come home. Okay. We know what they're wearing, right?
Exactly. Good question. Gloria, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to know what type of flyer does she give out when she goes door knocking?
Lauren, the girls, the marketing department make great flyers for us. So you can just have them create something for you. And it's super simple.
Is it just like about you, or is some houses you sold, or the houses that listed in the area, or what type of flyer?
I always believe in using the flyer of the house that's in their neighborhood.
I
So
see.
because they're interested in the neighborhood. So my new line is, hey, I've got some neighborhood news for you. I just sold the house down the street. Well, I was wondering what that was sold for. I heard they got 8, right?
Okay.
Well, it actually smells like cats, but hey, I mean, they want to know, right? They want to know. They want to talk about real estate. So if you go with the mindset that everybody that opens that door for you is interested in what you have to say, because they are.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Karen, I have a question for you. What's your goal for contacts a day? And also, do you work on weekends?
I changed my mindset a few years ago to say I work every day. So I will take breaks. I'll take a fun evening date night out on Friday night or a Saturday night, or I go to church on Sunday. I definitely have my downtime that I fit in between appointments. But I kind of got past that. I have to be off on this day. I'm not booking anything. I just go where the business is available. And I'll take mental note that, yeah, I might leave early on Friday afternoon because I'm working all day Saturday. Sure. That makes sense. Right?
Yes.
'Cause
And what about for contacts? Your goal for the contacts a day?
I've been a little bit lax on the contacts, but my goal is 40 connections a day. So that may be an email, it may be a BombBomb video, it may be a text, it may be a phone call.
I love it how you say it, connections.
Connections.
Really click in my mind. Thank you.
You bet.
Bonbon video. What's that?
Good question. Thanks, Miriam. Hold on one second. Who asked about the BombBomb video?
Lydia.
Lydia. Karen, you want to give that, or is that a Todd question too?
Oh, I actually love BombBomb. So Lydia, you should totally do this. And so it's just an app on your phone, okay? And then you hit the app I just, so I get it on my phone and then, we just do it. I hold it up and I make a quick little 1 minute. I keep it to 1 minute. And I say, hey, Lydia, gosh, I haven't talked to you for so long. You're doing fantastic. I just want to let you know about the market. We're getting hot, just like the summer's hot. So call me if you have any questions and we'll catch you later. Done. And then I email it to them or I text it to them. And it doesn't take any space on their phone or, memory. So, but I don't text it to them if I haven't had a good dialogue because they won't click on it unless they know and trust you.
Yeah, okay, all right. Thank you so much.
It's a
Thank
great
you.
question. Good stuff.
It's fun.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
have a
other
question,
questions
Neil.
for Karen?
I have a question.
Yes, I do. Karen, do you always structure your business in the same way that you're doing it now, or do you ever buy some leads?
Never bought leads. Never in my whole life.
Good, good. So everything is pure hard
Pure.
work with the same type of door knocking, calls, spheres.
I
Perfect. Thank
think
you.
I have to tell you something. I
Yeah.
think the way Karen does business and a lot of agents like Karen do business is way easier and way more profitable than buying lists. Lists are hard to work in large part because they don't want to be called.
Right.
I think you're making everyone that buys a list is making a big mistake, but that's just me. Okay, good question, Gabby. Tess, you had a question.
I have a question. So the kids now are involved, right? I want to know how you convinced Grant to be in the team.
Well, just to be clear, Grant's working for Century 21 Masters, who is like, what's the number you guys are for the state of California right now?
Number 3.
Number
Number
two.
2 with one and 3 with the other. Yep.
Number 2.
That's pretty
Okay, we're
impressive.
something between 1 and 3.
That's pretty awesome. So my goal is to have Randy pay Grant's salary. Yeah.
Well, the reason why I'm asking that question is this.
We approve.
Okay.
I see the potential of being a realtor. And
Yeah.
I've really tried to convince my kids, to be, but for some reason, every time I tell them, Mom, I know how you work, I will not door knock the way you do it, and I will
Then,
not.
then don't, Tess, don't push them. You'll be so disappointed. Don't push them.
Your experience.
Because if they don't want to do it, you guys are laughing and, Grant's and, do you realize that Grant's making 800 outbound calls a week? 800.
Grant's a great recruiter.
Most of you, if I asked you to make 800 outbound calls, would walk away from me.
He beats me to the office almost every single day, and he's practicing his scripts before I get here.
So Tess,
And doing affirmation and doing
they have to want to
affirmations.
do it. Adam was working in the company years ago, my son Adam, and it wasn't a good fit, and we had to go do something different.
Right.
And he couldn't be happier today. And he's making a living, and I don't have to support this family.
Okay. All right.
Hey, I got a question for Karen. Hey, Karen, you used to say that you'd have to do open houses on Saturdays when you didn't get a deal during the week. Do you still do that?
If I have the listing, I'll do it. I'll do it for my own listing. I won't do it for other people.
Okay.
But I do 2 open houses on a Saturday. I've done 3 open houses on a Saturday. So I don't believe in doing them long. I do them for 2 hours. So, and
2 hours is great.
yeah, and here's my take on it. It's not really for me to get a buyer. It's for me to show the seller, 1, we're working. 2, I'm working in the neighborhood, so the neighborhood knows I'm working, right? And then the third is to make sure that the public is seeing the property in the way I'm seeing the property. So did I price this right or I missed it? And if I
So
missed it,
I would like to make a comment to add on to that, Karen. Something you shared with me a long time ago is you like to do an open house and invite the agents with their clients in, and you do this magic that really you're working on the agent's client to buy the house, because most buyers agents don't know how to do that.
Right.
You're not trying to steal the client. You never get in the middle of the transaction. You're only there to help the other agent write the best offer for your client and their client to be able to do a deal. That's most agents don't do that.
We sold our 2.7 up in La Cresta that way. The agent never came. Their assistant came, the buyer came. I facilitated the showing, and our goal is to put the deal together and get a closing for our seller. And of course we get paid at the end, which is great too.
Right.
And if we have smaller open houses and you have more people strategically coming at specific times, then they run into each other, they bump in, and it's like the grand opening of a store. It's like, oh, wow, I better hop on this. If I want a chance, I need to put my best offer in first. So that's always the goal.
Yeah, you're doing a great job with it. Congratulations. Was there another question that I cut off? I apologize. All right, everybody, look, unmute yourselves, unmute yourselves. Let's give Karen a big hand. Woo!
All right, Karen.
All right. Good work.
Way to go, way to go, way to go.
Great job, Karen.
Excellent work. Excellent work. Karen, as usual, we're going to go around the room, ask people what they learned from you in the interview and the information today. I understand that you may have a hard stop because we do want you back out on the streets.
Oh, no, I'm going to do creative avoidance and listen.
Okay, good. Very good. Good job. All right. So what did we learn from Karen Myatt today and the Myatt team?
I want to share something.
Okay.
Okay, so what you're doing, Neil, is very important with the meeting with those successful people every weekend to give us the enthusiasm and push us forward, because I feel like sometimes I feel zero energy. And after I hear that, I feel like I want to go knock door now. I want to do. So thank you for whatever you're doing every week. And
You're welcome, Abir. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it.
Us. Thank you, Karen, for everything you said. And most for Grant. That's awesome. Yeah, he is the one who convinced me to be with you guys. It's not convincing. He never gave up on me for calling me and tell me, hey, when you gonna do that? Thank you for being with you guys. And I want to do something with this company. Thank you so much.
Well, we're excited that you're here. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Good stuff. All right. What else did we learn today?
Neil, I'm since I can't speak very much, I'm
Robert.
going to be a driver today.
Robert, you can't.
I'm going to be a
speak.
driver today. So I want to say this about Karen. What I love about Karen is Karen's a deal maker. And what I mean by that is her and I have a lot of fun on our calls, because she'll have some leads or some listings and escrows, and I'll tell her, you're the only one that could possibly have this lead. And it's simply because it might be a complicated deal. It might be a hand-holding deal that most agents would turn their back on, and she figures out a way to get the deal done. So I think if there's a lot of things agents can learn from Karen, but don't walk away from a deal because it's not cookie cutter, super easy. Because if you want to do her level of production, you're going to have to get comfortable doing uncomfortable transactions. And she does a phenomenal job of taking those complicated deals and just getting them done. So it's really, really an art form and a dedication that she does on that. So very good job there.
Thanks, Robert.
Excellent. Good job. All right. What else did we learn?
I
from
just want to
Karen
make a
today?
comment.
Tess?
Just a comment. I just want to say, Karen, your smile is very infectious. Really. Love that smile. And Neil is right. Even when you have a hard deal, like I see that with you where you would have first the smile and then deal with the problem. That's really good.
I'll try to
Yeah.
remember to smile today.
You've been smiling the whole time.
Good, good.
All right, what else did we learn today from Karen Myatt?
I'd like to say
Patty,
something.
go ahead.
Patty,
Who?
Oh, thank you. Hi, Karen.
Patty, good to see you.
Hi, good to see you too. I had the pleasure of role playing with Karen in the past, and I'm telling you, it was like the most amazing experience. And what I learned and felt working with Karen is that she makes you feel like she's your best friend and that you can trust her, and she's not like there to just get what she can get for herself. And yeah, and she just always made it fun. It was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. So thanks, Karen.
Patty, you
Great
wanna-
job, Patty. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it. Lydia.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to go on a segue from Robert Hertel's what he said. She doesn't let her emotion anything outside of work get in the way. I'm very impressed by that. I kind of like let things fester and stuff, but she just keeps working. And I admire that. I just want to let her know. That
Thanks.
really inspires me. Thank you so much.
I
That's
do.
great.
I'll piggyback on that, Lydia, is that I try to I have to always be positive with the client. They have so much stress on their mind and their heart. And so we just try to be there for them and help them move forward. And if we can keep smiling and keep it positive and say, hey, if I have bad news, I give it to them straight, right up top. And then I said, but the good news is we got their money in. The good news is we're communicating. The good news is, what's the good news? It's all good news.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I'd like to say something on top of that right here, because this is an important point. And I think Karen does it in every case, but I'm not involved in every transaction, so I don't know exactly. Some agents, not Karen, some agents always are putting down the other agent. And Karen never does that, because her concern is that if she keeps saying to the seller, the other agent did this and the other agent did this and they were late on this and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, then it starts to become a problem and the seller wants to back out of the deal. And all Karen wants to do is get this darn thing closed for everybody, which is what everybody really wants. Does that make sense?
That's right.
100%. I have an observation. So I know that Karen, you said that money motivates you, which it absolutely should. I mean, we're working hard so that we can make money. But I think more importantly, I think Karen has a very defined set of principles that she incorporates into her life, both from a business perspective, from a parenting perspective, from a friendship perspective. And I think because she has really strong principles, that's why you see success in all those areas.
Oh, thanks, Keith. Yeah. Thank you.
Of course.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Other things we learned from Karen today.
Hey, also just really quick, a beer. She was the first one to make a really nice comment about Karen. A beer just listed a $1.5 million home out in Redlands. So
thank you.
just saying, little shout out for a beer.
There you go.
Good job.
More money.
Also on that subject, Keith, I'm going to make a plug for role play and open mic. Grace K, who just joined us within the last week or so, got her first listing because she was prospecting on open mic.
Nice.
Right? Abir, she talked about that today. Abir, did you get your listing from open mic?
The first one, the 2.5 from open mic. because I called her while I have the power of you around me, guys. I was confident while I'm talking to her, and she gave me the address right away, the appointment. And that's when I decide to join you, because it's your listing, it's not anybody else. So I decide to join you because I got the power from you. So when I decide to come, I decide because I got the appointment because
You're the
of
best. Love it. Thank you for sharing, Abir. Okay, let's give Karen another big hand here. Thank you. Woo! All right.
Thank
Good
you,
job.
Karen. Thank you so much.
Karen.
All right.
Hi, are we done?
There, am I on there?
Good
Neil?
stuff. Yes.
Oh, are we done? I just want to remind Randy I sent a commission instruction for him to e-sign weeks ago, but I resent it today. If he can please e-sign it.
He will. I could dance
Thank
for
you.
him.
Thank you. Sorry.
If
What?
Gloria, if you send
Yeah.
me something to e-sign,
Yes, please. I sent it to you. I'm gonna resend it again at 3 times.
send it right now. But if you send it, it gets signed. I don't miss too much, so send it
All right.
again.
Okay. I'll resend it again.
Thank
Okay.
you. Bye.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Jackie, do you, two things. Number one, group, I want to make sure all of you know that
Master.
from 8 to 9 o'clock every morning, we're at role play. Agents like Karen Myatt come to that role play. A lot of you that are on here come to the role play. Be there. It's worth it. A beer's there. And agents like Melinda, et cetera, et cetera. So spend the time, okay? It's worth it, number one. Number two, Jackie, I don't have the list on my chat of who's the next caller.
Oh.
Does anyone, can anyone post,
It's
paste
me.
it?
It's me, Neil. It's me.
Neil, I have a quick question.
Of course, Christina.
Do you guys have a new script for the buyer representation that you guys can share?
Yes, we do. Well, what I'll do is, when you're talking about different buyer presentation stuff.
I'm talking about the one that Hunter was doing during the role play.
Yeah, that'll be on the updated list later today. So it's not on right now, Christina, but I'll
Okay.
get it out later.
All
And
right,
if
thank
anybody
you.
wants a new updated list of our scripts and dialogues, all they have to do is show up at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning and I'll hand it out.
Okay.
And won't that be great?
Won't that be great?
I'll take care of it, Christina. We'll get it done.
Okay.
Karen, thank you so much for your time. Really a great presentation.
Was,
And
thank
also love working with Grant recruiters. So he's done a great job. Awesome
Thank
kid.
you. Thank
He's got
you.
that $1 million mom smile.
We got lucky there.
I don't remember who gave him the next 2 weeks off, but
Neil,
if you
I
find
want to
that
say,
person, let me know.
I want to say something.
Yes, please.
I learned a lot from Karen. She makes it look very simple. I know it's hard work. Yes, her smile is killing me. I never smiled before. It's making me smile. But I'm thinking about, she makes things very look so easy for everybody to follow and do it. So she's not the Karens we know. She is the real Karen. Do you know what I
That's
mean?
interesting.
He loves her work.
She's the
I
opposite.
never think of
the-
her the other way.
I'm a nice Karen.
Yes. Yes, you
I
are.
tell that to people when I'm at the door too. I said, I'm the nice Karen, so we're good.
A beer,
But I still
are
want
you
to control
up?
your life.
A beer, are you up?
Yes,
Karen, seriously, thank you so much. Really good. We'll have the recording out probably by Monday or Tuesday. Next week's the 4th of July, huh?
Yes.
Okay, by the way, all of you can door knock and phone call from 8 in the morning on the 4th until 3 o'clock. Okay?
Yeah. I
And
appreciate
if
the reminder.
anybody wants to know who gave permission, it was me.
Okay.
Call the broker. All
Yep.
right. Thanks, you guys. It was
All
fun.
right, thank you, guys.